Hello and good morning. I am Miss Seaver. So happy to see you back again. Today I have a special book that I remember reading a long time ago, and I'm really fond of it, and I thought maybe it's the perfect winter book. And so this month is January, and I thought we would read the book called The Mitten. Okay, and The Mitten is adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. So in The Mitten, it's a Ukrainian folktale, and a boy named Nicky loses his snow-white mitten. He can't find it in the snow, but the woodland animals do. So let's go ahead and read the story here. The Mitten. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mitten made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. Wasn't that nice of Baba? She went ahead and made him the white mittens, even though she didn't think he needed white mittens. Why didn't she want him to have white mittens? What could possibly happen to white mittens? After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens." So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Uh-oh. Where did he drop the mitten? It's so hard to see a white mitten in the snow. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. There he is. Who discovered the mitten? The mole. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. So there you go. Now we have a mole and a rabbit in the mitten. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down, and when he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Ooh, glinty talons, right there. Can you see them? Those are his glinty talons. They did not want to argue with him. No, no, no. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. What are diggers? Ooh, right there. Do you see those? Those are his diggers. Another word for claws, right? So here they are. They were not going to argue with him. They're like, okay, we'll let you in. I wonder who's going to come next. Ooh. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten, and a waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in, and when the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. I wonder who's going to come next. Oh my. A great bear lumbered by. Do you think he's going to fit in the mitten too? Will that bear fit in the mitten? I don't know. He spied a mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in, and the animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched, and it was pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Oh, do you think another creature will fit into this mitten? Along came a meadow mouse, a little tiny meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wiggled into one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. There she is. Did he just realize he lost his mitten? Oh boy. What is he going to do? Baba might get angry with him. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Ah, 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 choo! The force of the sneeze shot the mittens up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. He's still looking for his mitten. Uh-oh, looks like he may have found it. Look at that. And on his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost Mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. It was flying through the air from that sneeze. No more Mitten for the animals. And as he ran to catch his snow white Mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his Mitten. Do you see Baba in the window? Right there. She's looking. And does he still have his Mitten? He sure did. Luckily. And then this is the end. Oh boy. There's both his mittens. But do you notice something? What's wrong with the mittens? What do you think Baba is thinking? Thank you for listening to today's story with me. And if you like, you can do the follow-up activity in identifying the beginning, the middle, and the end. Or you can discuss it. So what happened at the beginning of the story, and then think about what happened in the middle of the story, and then what happened at the end of the story. All right, thank you. See you later, or stay on for the next activity. All right, bye-bye. So here's my little outline. You can put something like this in your journal if you like, or like this, I don't know. So just mark it BME, beginning, middle, end. And then let's talk about what happened at the beginning of the story. Can you think about what happened at the beginning of the story? What do you think? At the beginning of the story, Nicky asked for something. What did Nicky ask for? Nicky asked for snow white mittens. Did he get those snow white mittens? Not right away, because originally what happened? Baba said, I don't want to make you snow white mittens. Why didn't Baba want to make him snow white mittens? Exactly, because she didn't want him to lose the mittens in the white snow. But then she ended up making them anyways, right? Then in the middle of the story, what happened in the middle of the story? What do you think happened in the middle of the story? Yep, just like Baba feared, Nicky, what? Nicky lost one of his mittens. He did. He lost one of his mittens. And then what happened? Did he find it right away? No, he didn't find it right away. But while it was lost, something happened. Animals moved into the mitten. Okay, so we have the beginning, we have the middle, And then here's the end. What happened at the end of the story? What happened at the end of the story? The mouse sneezed and all the animals what? What happened to all the animals after the mouse sneezed? All the animals flew out of the mitten. Flew out of the mitten, and Nikki found his mitten. Baba noticed, also at the very, very end, Baba noticed the mittens were different. Okay, there's our story on the mitten. All right, so let's talk about the characters. Let's go ahead and just add on a little bit. Characters in the story. Characters are Nikki, there you go, my stick figure, and then his grandma, Baba, and then we have all the animals. Those were the characters in the story, right? And then the setting, where was the setting of the story? The setting was, what does setting mean? Very good. Setting means, where does the story take place? And here the setting took place outside in the snow during the winter. Okay? Then every story has a problem and a solution. So what was the problem in this story? Okay, good. The problem was Nikki lost his mitten. And then the solution was he found it. He found it. Baba also warned him, don't lose your mitten, I will check. And then at the end, Baba was looking to make sure he had his mitten, right? And he had his mitten, so luckily he didn't get in trouble. Okay, thank you for following along with today's story. Have a good day. Bye-bye.